The online world really, really romanticizes the idea of working remote and being a solopreneur or a freelancer or whatever. And, you know, it should. It's pretty fucking great, but it is a lot of hard work. And I will say, unless you're someone who's extremely self-motivated and very, very disciplined, it is really challenging to sit down and do the work that you're supposed to do. No one's telling you when to be at work or put in that 9 to 5 kind of 8 hours a day thing. You need to do it yourself. I'll say for myself personally, as much as I don't want a standard 9 to 5 job where I'm an employee and I have to come in at a certain time, clock out at a certain time, blah, 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 I do get a lot of added benefits when I start a contract with a client and end up going into their offices for like 2 or 3 months at a time for kind of like a 9 to 5-esque kind of thing. Frankly, it turns out to be like a 7 to 7 kind of thing because, I get like super into systemizing, but I digress. The added benefit is that it exercises my discipline muscle, basically. It exercises those characteristics that, might not get as intense of a workout when I don't have a standardized place to be, people to work with, particular project to focus on. Really, really narrowing my focus and having that kind of structure is really beneficial. And I find that every time I start one of those contracts, I come home, despite being absolutely fucking tired, I come home and I'm like, you know what? I need to get all of these like house chores done and I need to do them now because now it's almost like this list that's cluttering up my brain that I need to move forward with. I need to do it. Just like the feeling that I get when I'm at work, when I'm like, this is a list of tasks that I need to get done and I need to do them now because they're blockers for other things. That's truly how I feel. I just started a new contract not too long ago and I'm getting that spark. It's almost like new relationship energy or whatever, like the trendy word for it is. But something akin to that, where I'm all jazzed because it's a new change, it is structure, and I've reorganized my room, I've washed and waxed my car, I've, done a whole bunch of tasks in terms of calling people up, setting up appointments, doing all these things that have just, like, dragged on forever on this to-do list that's just cluttered up my brain, and slowly I'm taking them all off, even though I have less time in my day to do it. So, it's kind of confronting where I'm like, what was my excuse? But this is a pattern that happens a lot, and it's the struggle between structure and freedom. And truly, the reality is that for some of us, structure's great. Even though we don't want it, we want to just be roaming free and doing our own thing, but switching it up and taking some time to have a really structured few months is probably fucking good for you. And if you relate to the things that I'm saying, like, maybe that's what you need too. And I'm trying to figure out a way to build that structure into my day-to-day when I don't have a contract that needs me to go into an office. And perhaps committing to a co-working space is something that can do that for you too, or do that for me too. Maybe that's something that I need to research because I find co-working space is a little too quiet for me. I like the hustle and bustle of a cafe, but there's also not a lot of structure if you're the only person that's going to that cafe that to do work. You know what I mean? Anyway, just some thoughts.